Hello everybody and welcome to my channel if it's your first time here. If it's not your first time here, then it's lovely to see you again. Today we're going to be doing this look here, which is a collaboration with my friend Debbie from the channel Vinyl Beauty, and we're going to be picking our favourite 4 shades from the It's Freakin Bats palette by Shroud Cosmetics, and we're going to be doing a look each. So I don't know what Debbie has done, and I hope she doesn't know what I've done, because it would be dreadful if we did the same thing. But we're going to be linking each other's channels and videos and that sort of thing, so that you can go and have a look at the other person's channel once you've seen this one. If you could like sort of now, that would be great. Just press the like button. If you could subscribe if you haven't already, that would be really nice of you. And as it doesn't take much doing, and as it doesn't cost you a bean, Batty Bean is the collaborator on the Shroud Cosmetics palette, so see what I did there. Just go ahead and do it. If you'd like to support me and my channel by buying me a Ko-fi, then do go to my Ko-fi page, which will be linked in the description, and thank you very much to everybody that's already done so. It really does help me. Okay, without any ado of any description, let's get into it. Well, here we are at the start of the tutorial, and I just thought I'd take the opportunity to tell you about today's lippage, which is the wonderful Kaleidos lip clay in the shade Agave. I just love the packaging on these. They're sort of almost rubbery without being rubbery, and lovely doe foot. And then just for a little bit of matching shimmer, I've got the Lime Crime Diamond Crushers here, which I think is in the shade Trip. Could be Trap, could be Trup. I think it's Trip. Right, so let's get on with it, and I'll tell you a little bit about Debbie and her channel, and how we came to be doing a nice collab. So I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of purple base on, just to just blend out that eye base, just to get it going really. Yes, so anyway, Debbie's channel, Vinyl Beauty, is one that I sort of stumbled across, as you do, and because she's a few years younger than me, I was happy to, comment and chat and really start toing and froing with her on her channel. When I first met her, I thought she was great. She's had her channel for 4 years ago, just around about this time of year she started it, and it's been going for 4 years, and very well indeed in terms of her subscriber loyalty base. All the people that follow her are really nice and sort of interesting, and sort of the sort of people you like to have following you, really. I mean, clearly not as interesting as my followers, but that's another story. I'm only teasing Debbie. And the great thing about Debbie is that she is a proper collector. And when I say proper collector, I mean she collects everything to do with the makeup that she buys. So she keeps all the packaging. If she buys the big collection things when they come in a box and with different drawers and fold out things, she keeps everything. I haven't got room to do that. I get something and it's I only keep the insides. Anyway, one of the palettes that we discovered we had in common, and there's not that many to be fair, is the Shroud Cosmetics and Batty Bean collab, It's Freakin Bats. And Debbie is a big fan of Shroud cosmetics, and so am I. Now I've got this one particular palette, which was in itself a gift from Mare. I will link Debbie's Shroud Cosmetics collection video. I'll link her whole channel as well, but anyway. So we decided we would like to do a second face-to-face get ready with me. What does she call them? Face-off collab. She's got a whole playlist of face-off collabs with different YouTubers. And I did one with her about a year ago when we didn't have any palettes in common. And bless her, she went out and bought the Stacey Marie Be Perfect Love Tahiti, what's it called, Carnival 3 palette, just so we could do it together, which was lovely. And I will be linking that video also. So yes, so we decided recently, when we discovered that we both had this lovely It's Freakin Bats palette, that we would do a face-off collab, and we decided that we would choose our 4 favourite colours and do a look using them. And the only other things I've used are eyeliners. Everything else is just the palette. So it's a 9-pan palette. I have done a tutorial on it before and used completely different colours to what I'm using today, apart from this dark colour, which is called Derry. They are quite fallouty, I will say. They're quite fallouty, but they're such unusual colours. They really are. And Batty Bean, or Betty Jean, has her own YouTube channel, as you probably know. But she is like one of these big influencers that gets sent things all the time and what have you. And Debbie and I are Brits, you know, older, slightly older Brits, ploughing our lonely furrows with in terms of makeup videos. And the great thing about Debbie is, excuse me sniffing, it's quite cold in here today, she is also a great one for rock music, alternative music, that sort of thing. And we discovered that we had quite a lot of things like that in common. She's also a cat lover, as I am. All sorts of things that I need to tell you about her include the fact that she's done like 400 odd videos in the time she's been going, and a lot of them are very well, that's a lie, all of them are very well organised into playlists. And the sort of things she does, I've got them written down here so that I don't forget any. She does Christmas ones, which are very good because she's got a lot of Christmas palettes. She does Halloween ones, which are extremely good because she's got a tremendous lot of Halloween palettes. I mean, she's got all the Halloween themed palettes that you could possibly shake a stick at. She does individual palette reviews, she does brand reviews, and one of the things that she does that I have shamelessly stolen from her, and I'm moving into the colour Spooky now to blend out this Derry. Yeah, she does album art inspired looks. And when I first saw that, I just thought, what an absolutely genius idea. I must steal it. So I did, and I will attempt to link the video that I did using album art as an inspiration. I will do some more because they are such fun to do. I mean, really, really great fun to do. And Debbie has different albums to what I have. She's a great Barbara Streisand fan, and I know she won't mind me saying that I'm not a great Barbra Streisand fan, but she is, and more power to her. So a lot of her albums are different to my collections, but back in the day she was, you know, just as much a rock chick as anybody. And now she may have mellowed, she may not. She'll tell you, I'm sure, on her own channel when you go over and visit her there. So we've just been blending this Derry out with this lovely blue spooky colour, which is quite an unusual blue. It's sort of, it's like a cornflower. Yeah, I think that's safe to say. It's like a cornflower blue. And I'm using the flat brush that I used for the Derry just to take it out, almost in a wing, but a little bit less defined, just to get it starting to go, just to take the colour that way, just like it is on this side. So you can see that there. And then I'll go over it again, over the top bit with the spooky colour, give it a good old blend so that it doesn't look too much like it's a, you know, a very defined line. Anyway, I've got a bit of pink eyeliner and a bit of silver eyeliner on at the moment because I couldn't decide which I liked better, so I put both. Yes, so the other thing I was going to steal from Debbie, and I'm now taking a small pencil brush and going into the colour Adams with 2 Ds, of course, was her idea of doing a steampunk look, which I hadn't really actually considered before, and hers came out so nicely that I thought, you know what, I'm going to steal that one as well. So just taking a cleanish brush to try and get both sides to go out a bit more blendedly, if that's a word. Yeah, so I decided I'm going to steal her idea for a steampunk look. She used lots of bronzes and golds and colours like that, which I don't have a terrific lot of. I mean, I do have some, but it'll be a nice challenge for me, I think, to do something, you know, with colours that are a little bit out of my comfort zone. Not purple, in other words. Let's just get that out there, get that out there. Yeah, so she does have some fantastic ideas for things. The other thing is that she has introduced me to some names that I hadn't, I mean, I'd heard of them, but I'd never actually seen the details of the actual product. So she's a huge collector of Pat McGrath, or Pat McGrath, however you want to say it. And obviously I'd heard of Pat McGrath, but I had never really seen any of the palettes in detail, and she collects them, and I mean, they're not for me. They're not the sort of things that I would wear, but the packaging on those things, oh my God, it's to die for. I mean, if I was only buying the packaging, that would be one thing, but clearly the price of Pat McGrath, no. Anyway, I'm now taking a white eye base on a very small brush, and I'm going to go down the centre here and just make the halo eye part of the look, and try and keep it on the screen at the same time. Right, there's that. So now I'm going to take my MUA glitter glue, and this is about 1,000 years old. I don't know if you can still get it, but I watched Betty Jean or Batty Bean when she launched this palette, and she used a glitter glue for the shimmers, so I thought, well, if it's good enough for her, it's good enough for me. And then when I did this side, it made a huge difference, I think. And I'm using the colour 0, it's called, because it's got a bit of the Derry and a bit of the Adams and a bit of the Spooky all mixed into it, which hopefully you can see the lovely colours all coming through there. I'm also going to take my flat Derry brush, go over the top without too much product on there, obviously, just a tiny bit, and then obviously blend the edges like so. That's the great thing about this palette. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmers and 4 mattes, and all the shimmers are completely different. These shimmers are absolutely terrific. You've got a lovely greeny gold one, you've got a goldy sort of yellowish sort of off green one. You've got the one called Grim, which is like a teal colour. You've got the Apparition, which is a pinky gold one, the 0 one, and as I say, the handbook one is that sort of really green, which is absolutely gorgeous. I know Debbie said to me that she is a huge fan of the shimmers in this palette, and I must say I know why that is. And the thing is, I tend to, if I'm doing a look, I tend to try and stick with the palette that I'm using and not go to different palettes and have a bit of this and a bit of that. But I think I will in future, just if I need a shimmer, I think I may come to this palette just to concentrate on, you know, getting them from there. Anyway, I think I remember put a tiny bit under here. Not a lot, just a tiny bit, just to give a hint of it. And where's that other brush? Oh, here it is. And I did put a tiny bit there. So you can see without the glue, it does need a bit of doing. But it's a lovely colour. So let me just check in the big mirror. I have got here a big massive concealer slash blending brush, which I did use on the other side, so I will use that to blend the edges of this. Go round, where's that other brush gone? Oh, there it is. Go round the edge of the green again, just to make sure, you know, we understand that we are in fact going for 4 different colours. And then I took my, what's it called? I always forget what it's called. Koki gel ink liner, because it's a lovely thin felt tip. And I went down, I'll have to come in a bit closer. I went down here like this. As usual, completely asymmetrical, I'm afraid, but hey ho. And then I took a line. See, I find it difficult to do it on this side. I took a line to almost like continuous this one out this way, and it just so happened to hit the edge of the halo, so we'll just try and get that like that. And then obviously I did go back in and thicken it up a bit, and then another a little one which should line up with the other one, and then a third one coming out the bottom along the bottom of this dark bit. And because my hooded eyes are different hood sizes and shapes, it all looks a bit weird. I also went over the tips with my KVD, what's it called, tattoo liner, because it is just the best for things like this if you want a good point. And I put down a line of Essence liquid ink to give my false lash something to stand on. So that is, it's, as I say, it's terribly fallouty. That is the palette there. Very fallouty, but I will, oh my god, it's all over the shop. I will put a photograph of it as it's supposed to look somewhere in the video, so you can see it as it looks, you know, as it comes fresh from the factory or the artisan hand presser or wherever it comes from. And I'm just gonna put some mascara on, put my other lash on, and I'll be right back. So there we are, the It's Freakin Bats palette by Shroud Cosmetics in collaboration with Batty Bean or Betty Jean. My look in collaboration with Debbie from Vinyl Beauty, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget, stay warm, stay safe, stay cool if you're in the southern hemisphere. I know there's some people from down under watching, because a few of you have messaged me recently, and it's lovely to hear from you. Take care of all the animals and plants and all the natural world that you come in contact with on a daily or not so daily basis. I will be back next time, and before I see you again, I expect you to stay strange. Bye for now, everybody.